What is up, my fine friends? We have got a new set, and that means some new decks in Standard. Let's check it out. Alright, so before we get into it, if you like these updates, give a like and subscribe. Helps the channel grow, helps motivate me to keep making more videos, and I would really appreciate it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Just to let you know, I am changing things up a little bit. I want to keep these videos a little bit shorter, so it's easier to watch and get through in a reasonable amount of time. So we're just going to focus on the new and innovative decks, and we'll highlight decks that did well in tournaments and things like that, and did well in the ladder. But we're not going to go into every deck that's played right now in Standard or other formats. All right. So first things first, we have Azorius Control. Got some very sweet upgrades with the new set. Of course, we see No More Lies is the key thing, a 2-mana counterspell that works very well. Basically mana leak, and you don't need to have creatures to make it good. So that really helps control a lot. It seems like right now Jace is still kind of the preferred win con. Of course, Wandering Emperor is, also win con, but Jace is definitely your top win con here. And then people are starting to play the temporary lockdown a bit more because the Convoke deck is very popular, and this helps to shut that down. So that's part of the reason for that. And then of course Sunfall is good, Farewell is good, etc. That's mostly what we've seen with the new Azorius deck. They're basically just adding the one new card, and that's about it. But some people are trying some new stuff. But yeah, let's look at another list. This is very similar. The only thing this one has is Intrude on the Mind in it as well, and Deduce, to give you some early draw and to also give you some other card selection plus win con. I've heard good things about Deduce because it's also 2 mana. You can play it on the same turn you do No More Lies. So that's pretty sweet, and it's essentially 2 card draw, just a little bit delayed on the second one. So yeah, it seems like it's working well for Squirrel Cage here. They were doing quite well in Standard with it, so yeah, Azorius Control. It's doing pretty good. Next up, we got Boros Convoke. This is what some people are saying is the best deck in Standard right now. This version is just one of the versions that's running War Leader's Call. Some people are saying it's not needed or it's not good, but it is an Anthem, so it does pump all your creatures, and it is kind of a way to reach where you have a board stall. You can still ping for the last few points of damage to win the game. So I think it makes sense to have some number of it. I don't know how many you want, but this is the deck that's doing well on tap.gg, 64% win rate. So obviously this one is pretty good. And then next up we have the Naya Rocco deck. Was popular for a while. It did very well in a recent tournament, getting 8th place out of 100 people, or over 100 people, and it's running Lightning Helix, one of the new cards from the set, and a few other decent ones like Doorkeeper Thrall. So it has some legs. We'll have to see where it goes. 8th place is good, but it isn't top 4. So we'll have to see, but still interesting. Next, Mono Green Aggro is back in Standard. What? We haven't seen this for 3 or 4 sets now, and we had a lot of pieces get added slowly, and finally now we have the last few pieces to make it good. I think Sharp-Eyed Rookie being one of the really key ones, and Hard-Hitting Question also a very good removal. Even Flourishing Bloomkin, when you have a lot of forests, it makes sense. So yeah, I can see that being very good. So Mono Green doing good again. Nice. Now we also have a bunch of Reenact the Crime decks. Different people are trying different combos. There's like Grixis, Esper. There's an Esper Storm deck where you storm off and just cast a million cards and make a bunch of dudes to swing in. So there's a lot of ways people are kind of manipulating this Reenact the Crime. And I think that's very sweet because that's one of the cards that I thought was very, very good. Next up, Ash Lizzle. She didn't post the list here. It's on her YouTube channel, so you can check it out if you want it. But she's playing with this Insidious Roots card, which makes the plant tokens whenever something leaves your graveyard. And so yeah, you can see that she's doing pretty well with it. And her board state shows you what you need to know here. Also, her rank 50 mythic. So obviously, she's doing quite good with it. So that's another card that's performing very well in the new standard. And then finally, we have a few decks that are not standard. We have this Ooze deck in Historic, which is doing very well. Slime against humanity, make really big slimes, and then you fling them at your opponent's face for 1,000,000 damage. Well, you really only need to do 20 damage. So for 20 damage, and it counts the ones in exile, so you can exile them with unexpected conversion as well, and have some shenanigans going on with that. So pretty cool. It's working in Historic for this person, and it's an interesting concept. And then lastly, Show and Tell in Timeless. Show and Tell lets you put something big from your hand onto the battlefield. It lets the opponent do it too, but most of the opponents in Timeless are playing small creatures and not big spells. There's one or two decks that would have big things, but hopefully your big things are bigger than their things. So Show and Tell, very powerful. Lets you put down like Omniscience, and then you can just go to town and cast everything else from your hand. So very, very strong, and makes sense that it works in Timeless. But Aliel draws you out here, making things work and trying out the new stuff. So that's really cool. All right, that's it for today. So hope you get out there, have some fun, and I will see you next time.